and I literally feel like his mom. What?
You cut your hair, but you used to live a blinded life. Wish I was there, wish we'd grown up on the same.
Welcome back to Cosmetics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is Botox. So let's get into it because, of course, there's so many emails, over 1,000, and honestly, I don't know how I'm ever gonna get to all of them. Okay, we're gonna start it off with some tea. So, Bo, I absolutely love you and your channel. Girl, do I have some tea for you? I'm a loyal sub and have tweeted you a few times and comment on every video, but please keep me anonymous because I'm not trying to get arrested for being an accomplice, LOL. Oh, Lord. I'll try to keep this as short as possible. I know it's long, but trust me, it's worth it. I have a best friend, let's call him Shane. Me and Shane have been best friends for 6 years. He has helped me through some of the biggest struggles in my life, and I tell him everything. He's that friend you can kick it with and smoke a joint and talk about deep and irrelevant shit for hours. Anyways, after a few years, things got a little sexual. I think it's because we're horny motherfuckers and have had really shitty experiences with sex and relationships, etc. We became friends with benefits. Bad idea. I know you're mad, LOL. Please don't yell at me, LMAO, love you. Which usually doesn't work out, and I know that. But we did this on and off for the past 3 years. We even said it all the time. How can we do the nasty and have an amazing convo but have no feelings at all? I have been single for the past 3 years, so no, I'm not hoeing it up. I would never do that. Anyways, this is where the tea starts. For the past year, I'd say we were hooking up at least once a week and would talk every single day. He's pointed out when I was talking to a fuckboy and saved me from a lot of hurt. One day, I saw he blocked me on Facebook and Instagram, so I messaged him saying, "What the fuck, bitch, what?" And he said he's seeing a girl. So I was like, cool. We can stay friends. He said he couldn't just be friends with me because I was too tempting. Because our sex was too good. This cheesed me and I was heartbroken for losing my best friend. So we didn't talk for a few months. He ended up breaking up with her and we were talking again. We didn't get our freak on for a bit though because I was still mad at him for abandoning me. A few months passes and we end up being close again, talking every day and hooking up once a week. I was still blocked on his Facebook and his Instagram, and when I'd ask him about it, he would just say that he doesn't fuck with social media anymore. So I said okay. Then one day, my instincts told me to Google his Instagram. I found pictures of him and a girl saying, "I love my baby," and some other lame shit like that. I screenshotted the pics and sent it to him and popped off. Pop off. She popped off. Okay. He called me and told me to listen to him. He told me some long story about how he got caught moving $500,000 worth of cocaine to the States with his boys from Toronto, where we lived. And he was arrested. And he didn't tell me to keep me safe since I am so involved in his life. And said that he had to put on a front that he was living a normal life. I said, what the fuck? That's really fucking random and I've never heard of that before, but okay. He told me he would show me the law documents, etc. He had to keep me blocked because he was my only weed dealer and had to block anyone who had convos with drugs on social media. Or convos about drugs, sorry. Anyway, he told me this girl wasn't really his girlfriend and it was a friend and that she was in on it, getting paid $10,000 to help him. Apparently, they were also best friends for 5 years. Tell me how I've never heard of this bitch. Anyways, I was skeptical and still talked to him and kept asking for proof. I helped him think of shit to make his front look real and helped him through it. I moved some of his weed for him because I was scared he was gonna get caught. I asked him to let me call her with him so she could tell me it was fake. He said no and made up some random excuse that I don't remember. Then, to make a long story short, I kept hitting I kept hooking up with him and believing he was single. After a bit, he confessed that he had feelings for her, and I said, okay, go for it. I want him happy. But he said he wanted to wait until all the court shit was over with. We got into a few fights over the course of 2 weeks, and he said he didn't deserve me as a friend or the girl as a girlfriend, and he's gonna turn himself in and all this sympathy shit I wasn't having. I stopped his girlfriend's Instagram account and saw some ratchet posts of them grinding at the club with the caption of, thanks for being here for 5 months and making my birthday amazing. I love you, baby. Woo. So I sent him that and went off again. Mind you, I brought this up many times with him for the past few weeks once I first caught him. I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt. Then I just freaked the fuck out and felt petty. So I messaged the girl and said, how long have you been official with Shane? She said since Friday. And not to message him or her ever again. Rotted. Then blocked me. So technically he wasn't lying, but I fucked him the day before they were official. So what the fuck? I was trying to do the girl a favor and find out the truth for myself because his lies were just too much. I felt like shit thinking I was sleeping with someone who was dealing with someone. If I was talking to someone, I would never ever sleep with Shane. Honestly, the whole thing is a mess and I hope it isn't too confusing for you. He blocked me on everything after I confronted her and called me saying never to talk to him again, and he's so mad and smashed his phone, etc. I was bawling my eyes out and he hung up on me and he hasn't talked to me since. I tried WhatsApping him and he blocked me on that too. What should I do? I apologize for messaging her, which I shouldn't have. I feel like I can't keep messaging him in respect to their relationship, but Bo, he was my best friend for 6 years. My rock, and I regret ever sleeping with him. I know he sounds like an asshole, but I can't put it into words how strong of a bond we have and all the good times. Do you think we will ever talk again? Even though he's sketchy and a drug dealer and in a lot of shit, I care about him so much, and I literally feel like his mom. What? I've talked him out of doing so much stupid shit, and I feel like we need each other. But if he's just gonna cut me off like that, is this one-sided? Should I never talk to him again? Do you think I'm crazy for what I did? I feel foolish and hurt. Help. Well, this is why we don't do friends with benefits, because it doesn't work. Something bad always happens. And I don't believe his little I'm a drug dealer story, because if he got booked with over $500,000 of cocaine, trust me, he wouldn't be able to be talking to anybody. He would be locked up behind bars in jail. Hello, hi, how are you? Like, no, he's a fucking liar. He's lying about everything. He's not a drug dealer. He probably just sells weed, and weed is a slap on the wrist if you get arrested for it. The girl, you shouldn't have messaged her, but at the same time, because you guys were never official, you guys were never planning to be official, so technically, whatever he was doing with anybody else was none of your business, and whatever you decided that you wanted to do with anybody else would not be his business either. So, in my personal opinion, yes, you should leave him the hell alone. You guys, as close as you guys were, or the reason that you're feeling the way you're feeling is because you guys were supposed to be friends, and then you guys did the whole sex thing. And what do I tell you guys about sex? It's not just physical. So as much as you think that you can turn your emotions off and not feel connected to him, because you guys already have a bond outside of sex, the sex is making you feel even more close to him. And so yeah, you're going to be jealous and you're going to be frustrated with him, and you're going to freak out at him when he's talking to other girls, because a part of you is with him and a part of him is with you, and that's never going to change at this point. If you guys were honestly best friends and your bond was actually that strong, you calling this girl or messaging this girl, yeah, he would have got mad, but he wasn't really giving you too many options, because he was kind of leaving you hanging by fucking with you and fucking with her and not being honest with either of you. So I don't think that you should continue your friendship with him. I think the friendship is dead. It's dead without the sex. If you guys aren't having sex, you guys are not friends, basically. That's what you just told me. So there has to be more than that to your relationship. I think you think that you guys are closer than you actually are, regardless of the fact that you guys have been friends for 6 years. But like, I know a girl in that same situation, and all they do is fucking argue if they're not fucking. Like, it's really pathetic. So I would say to move on, go and find a new best friend or a boyfriend so that you're not worried about Shane and his girlfriend, because you're doing too much, honey. You really are. Hey girl, please don't mention my email or anything because this is quite deep. But anyway, my best friend's dad committed suicide in June, and it's been tough on all of her close family and friends, including myself. Ever since it happened, she's changed so much. For someone that was so against drugs, she's been using cocaine to escape reality and feel euphoric. Those exact words she used. That's a hard ass drug to just like be able to jump into doing. That's kind of odd, but okay. Then when she was not able to sleep, she'll be abusing Valium and Xanax. She's honestly fucking scaring me, and I just feel like she's pushing me away when I'm the one who's constantly there to help her and support her 24/7 when all the other girls are still out all the time and rarely checking in with her. I don't know what to do and how to talk to her about it because she never fucking listens when I do anyway. I feel so helpless. You're amazing and I always watch your videos, and I thought your advice would really help. Sorry for getting so dark, but I don't know where I can turn anymore. Sending love from Melbourne, Australia. Okay, doll. If you've never been through that type of situation, it's hard to tell you like how to help your friend. When you lose someone, especially if it's like a parent or something, I couldn't even imagine losing my mom. Like, I could not imagine losing my mom. So I don't know how close she was with her dad, but obviously if it's taking a toll on her to the point where she's using drugs, then she definitely needs help. When people are using hard substances like that, the only thing you can do is encourage them and get them or force them into rehab. And they're going to be mad. They're going to be kicking and screaming. But that's no way to live. You can't just because her father took his life doesn't mean that her life has to start spiraling downwards. I don't think that's right. I think all you can do is keep a close eye on her, but like, it would really be painful. I don't know if her mother's around, but it would really be painful for her to have lost her father and then her take her own life for being irresponsible and being on drugs and sniffing coke and fucking doing Xans. Like, and the reason I say that is because when you are taking drugs like that or any kind of substance, alcohol included, it's for the time being. It makes you feel good for the time being. And once she does her line of coke and it wears off in 10 to 20 minutes, all of a sudden she's going to need to do another line, and it's just going to get progressively worse. I think that you should really encourage her to stop and try to be around her as much as possible so you can see what she's doing. See how she's spending her days. And you probably have a job and stuff and you are nobody's parent, but you need to talk to her mom or somebody that's closer to her than you are, because there's only so much you can do as a person. And God forbid she were to overdose or something, I wouldn't want you to feel like you were to blame because you didn't do anything. You have no control over her. She's going to do what she wants to do. Your only job as a friend is to tell her every day that what she's doing is not smart, it's not right, and it's not fair. I think that suicide is a very selfish act, and I think that people that abuse drugs are being very selfish too, because when you're doing things like that, it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. Like, you're emailing me because your friend is hurting herself. When we are that close to somebody, when we do see them hurting and then they go through something traumatic or they kill themselves or something like that, we often feel like we're to blame. And so I don't want you to ever feel like that if something were to happen to her, because We don't know what is going to happen to her if she's on this crazy spiral using fucking drugs to numb herself from feeling. She needs to understand herself that her father killing himself was not her fault, and there was nothing she could do about it. When people make up their mind, they make up their mind. So I think that you should just talk to her, encourage her to stop doing what she's doing and to get help, and to even join like I know there's programs where when your family member or somebody close to you commits suicide, you can go to a program on helping to deal with it or coping and healing. She can go to a program like that. So you should find a program and bring her with you, like trick her into going. Do whatever you have to do, but don't just let this be a burden on you. You need to contact her family members and tell them this is what's going on, and I can't do this alone. Like, she needs an intervention, basically. I will definitely pray for her. I think you should pray for her too, and hopefully she'll stop, because that is really, really sad. Hey, babe. Don't keep me anonymous. Let this shit be known. My name is Unique. I am 18 years old from Louisville, Kentucky. I literally just moved to New York, New Jersey at least 2 months ago. Okay, so the first day I got to Jersey, I was taking my suitcase out of the trunk and bringing it inside the apartment. I spotted this really cute guy, my neighbor. I didn't think anything of it though. I didn't really see him like that for the first week. The following week, I was really hungry and decided to go get some snacks from the corner store off Parker Street and Park Ave. Well, all the details is up in this bitch. I'm in the store and my neighbor walks in after me, and I get really nervous because that's what I do when I'm near a cute guy. Same. Same. I make my mom pay for my snacks and I go outside. Right behind me is my neighbor walking out. I couldn't get a good look at what he looked like, so I let it go. After that encounter, I didn't see him for like 2 weeks. Fast forward to this month, a week or two ago, I was on the porch and he walked out of his apartment and he looked my way. So he asked his homeboy to ride his bike, I guess. That's what I'm assuming, because he took the bike from the guy and he started riding like literally 18 fucking times past my place. Keep in mind, he lives across the street diagonal from me, so he would ride by a few times listening to music. So I hopped in my car and just looked at him from the mirror because he was making me dizzy. I was actually hoping he would speak to me or something, but he didn't, pussy ass nigga. Next day, September 20th, it was later in the evening, at least 6 p.m., and I was outside with my friend Angel, and I seen him speak to my neighbor. So when they finished talking, I told Angel that my neighbor was cute, and he asked, want me to introduce... Oh, Angel's a dude? I thought Angel was a girl. Sorry. And he asked, want me to introduce you to him? I said, yes, of course. So he was like, I'll give him your number. But he ended up giving me my neighbor's number. So then I got this number and I texted him. We were texting and getting to know each other. Do you have a BF? What's your ethnicity? Those kind of questions. My neighbor and I have a mutual friend named Juan. Well, she's really my mom's friend. She was coming to get me to hang out with her at her house, and she ended up walking to my house with my neighbor. I was shy as hell, so I was quiet. Then he ended up giving me a hug. Damn, this story is long. I'm so sorry, my love. Yeah, because where is this going? The story's all over the place. Like, you write stories like how Shooter tells stories. But that day, he wanted to go to Marshall's. So Wanda and I went with him because Wanda is kind of like a mother figure to us. So she basically took us. I forgot to mention, my neighbor is a drug dealer. Okay, this story is all over the place. He had drugs on him, so he was trying to get in and out of Marshall's. Wanda was taking a bit long, so we went to go sit outside together. Bitch, let me tell you, there was a crime sense unit officer coming out of Marshall's. What the hell's a crime sense unit? Did she mean crime scene? I'm so confused. So his ass got spooked and slouched down on the bench. Today, September 28th, he wanted me to charge his phone because his lights are off. Oh gosh. So I did. How you a drug dealer but your lights is off? Let me know. Let me know. So I did, and as a favor, he walked me down this ghetto-ass street to the corner store. He didn't want to walk me down because he had lots of drugs and money on him, but he did because he's really sweet. Blah, blah, blah. That's not the point. We have two different personalities, though. I'm kind of a good girl, and he's a bad boy. He is 20 years old. I'm 18. I don't be in the streets, and he does. He has a job and an apartment across the street from me. He's just a really attractive person. His looks and personality are attractive. He won't tell me straight up that he's a drug dealer. He just says stuff like it seems like he's telling his homeboys, I'm going to have some blah, blah, blah at 8:30. Having drugs and hella money on him. Being scared of the police. And when I told him that I'm going to move into an apartment up the street, he said, I'm going to be there when the block is hot. I'm not sure if it'll be a good idea to mess with him. Please help my ass. Please, man. I love you. No, it's not a good idea to mess with him. Like, what was this even? What was this? What was this, really? Drug dealers are bad news bears. They serve no purpose, okay? Do not date drug dealers. Do not fuck with drug dealers. Do not fuck drug dealers. Like, no. He might be nice eye candy. He might be nice to look at. But in terms of a relationship, he's unpredictable. Drug dealers are not able to commit because they don't know what's going to happen within the next 24 hours. They could get robbed, they could get shot, stabbed, freaking arrested, and jailed, okay? They're not ideal people that you want to mess with. And on top of that, he's saying he's going to be coming to your apartment up the street when the block is hot, but that means that he's going to be bringing his damn narcotics and his illegal ass money into your crib. If you don't want the problem with the laws, then you might want to stay clear away from him. When you hang out with drug dealers, you automatically become guilty by association. So don't be surprised if one day he gets arrested and the police want to question your ass. Yeah, like, y'all is getting ridiculous with these damn Botox, I swear. Get your life unique, please. Hey, Bo, I just wanted to start by saying love, love, love you. Love you too. And I apologize in advance because this might be a lot lengthy, LOL. So I guess I'll start. About 4 years ago, I met this boy, we'll call him Piano. When I first met Piano, I was in a relationship, a terrible one, I might add, but that's a story for another time. Piano and I became really close friends within a few months, but what I didn't know was that he had a crush on me. He kept it a secret out of respect for my relationship. I guess I should add that that relationship was a girl. So he also thought I was gay, which I am def not, LOL. Close to the falling out of my relationship with her, he got in a relationship with this girl named Cherry. Fast forward to about a year in his relationship with Cherry, it was coming to an end. They were both lying and cheating. He started dating this girl, Katie, the same chick he cheated on Cherry with. Oh, Lord. I never liked Katie. She was always a rude ass bitch. Not relevant. I just don't like that hoe. Daniel, my best friend at the time for about 6 years, was dating Katie's cousin, Lulu. All this fuckery was happening at the same time that I started pursuing my feelings for Daniel. Messy, messy, messy. See, the thing is, my best friend was never really my best friend, because if he was, I would have known about his ugly little girlfriend, but I didn't, which caused so much drama in my life. Me being the petty thought-ass bitch I was, I started talking to Piano. Now, at this time, this was a great idea because I was a dumb-ass bitch. I never expected for Piano to catch real feelings for me because I never knew he liked me. After all the drama died down and all those situationships ended, Piano and I remained friends and grew closer to what I thought was just a friendship with a deeper connection. When I was using Piano to cause all the chaos, he actually started showing feelings for me. I was fine with it at first because it was almost like a friends with benefits thing. Not really, because we never had sex. I'm still a virgin. But then he started trying his hardest to convince me to be his girlfriend for the past 2 years. but I always brushed him off and tell him we could never ever be together. I even tried that whole be a bitch thing so he wouldn't like me anymore. All it did was make me like him more. And he always tells me how much he loves me and wants to be with me and how he always has. All he does is pour his heart out to me. I always try to force him to move on and he always comes back a month later. I actually started to fall for him, Bo. I don't know what to do because I believe that once a cheater, always a cheater. That is right. I also think that because he was willing to cheat on Katie with me, he'd be willing to cheat on me with someone else. Also, a little part of me thinks he only wants me to be his girlfriend because he wants my virginity. Lord. We were already doing everything like a couple, so why must we have a title? 4 months ago, I cut him off because I caught him lying to me about talking to some girl. Which makes me think, if you'll lie when we're single, and I told you, do whatever you want as long as you tell me what's going on, then you'll lie in a relationship, right? That is correct. But just last week, he texted me on some I don't want anyone but you type stuff. I don't want to be the girl he runs to every time his attempted relationships don't work out. But what if they aren't working out because he's in love with me? Which is basically what he keeps telling me. I don't know what to do, Bo. Should I give him a chance or just let it go for good? I don't think it's smart to date somebody that you know has a background in cheating. I mean, there are people out there that like cheat once and will never do it again, but then there's people out there that can't help it and they just, when they start getting bored in their relationship, they don't have an outlet or a proper outlet, so they step out on the relationship, and God forbid you were to give him a chance and he do that to you. That is going to be your first heartbreak, but I guess everybody kind of has to go through their first heartbreak. The lucky people don't go through a first heartbreak, but you honestly don't know where something's going to go until you stick your neck out or like try. Like, you have to try. You can't just say, okay, no, fuck it, I'm not going to give him a chance because he's already cheated on the other girls. Because it is a possibility that you are the one that he wants to be with. If you are between the ages of 16 and 24, I wouldn't chance it, because guys that young don't know what they want. As persistent as he is, it could very well just be that he wants to take your virginity from you, especially if you guys have had those kinds of convos before. So I think you should feel it out and see what your heart tells you to do, but don't be surprised if he does cheat, because you know that he has cheated in his past 2 relationships. It's not something where he's cheated once and that was it. He's cheated in the first relationship. He was willing to cheat in the second relationship, and it will be a pattern for him until he's old enough to settle down. And sometimes some men don't grow out of that cheating thing, and there's some men that will cheat as long as pussy is being thrown at them. So I think you should really just watch your back, and if you don't feel like he can offer you that stability and that faithfulness, then you can't date him. Like, there's no point to put yourself out there like that for him to hurt you. Hey, Bo. First, I'd like to say that I love your channel. Started watching you a couple months ago, and you give me life. Thank you. I had a question about my crazy ass family. My close family consists of my parents and my sisters and my 3 aunts, 1 uncle, and 11 cousins. All of my cousins and my sisters and I grew up basically as siblings because of how close our parents are. Well, mostly. My mom is close to my uncle and 2 of my aunts. My other aunt, who I'll call Kim, isn't really close to any of her siblings. There's always that one child, always that one. Everyone is still really close to her 3 kids. When I was younger, I didn't really understand why nobody fucked with her like that, but I see why now. She's messy as hell and loves chaos. For example, my dad passed away when I was a baby. My sisters and I don't really have a relationship with his side of our family, and honestly, I don't feel a need to force myself on my family when they don't reach out. Also, they're ratchet and we're just different, lol. Basically, it's a high and by thing, and that's fine. Kim, however, finds herself in their company bashing my mom for not letting us have a relationship with them when that's not the case. Going to people outside of our close family to talk shit about us is something she does a lot. She's a terrible mom too. Oh gosh. One of her kids found out she was pregnant. Everyone was happy for her and happy to have a new baby in our family. Shortly after, though, she miscarried, and our family was there to be supportive and help her through it. Her mom, however, hates for anyone to get attention other than her. She thought this was an appropriate time to tell everyone that her single 50-year-old ass was pregnant. Wow. Wow. We all knew that this wasn't possible because all of her kids are grown and she hasn't had a man since their father and her eggs are damn near fried at this point. Instead of being a helpful mother, she tried to shift the attention to her delusional self. This stuff doesn't nearly tell half of what she does, but just to give you an idea. Now, I'm 20 and old enough to really form my opinion on her. And she's showing me nothing good, lol. Aside from all this, she's just annoying. I'm in school and I work, and that's pretty much it for my life. I've never brought a boy around my family, and I'm a virgin, which in my eyes is fine because I'm not focused on niggas right now, lol. To Kim, this is a red flag though. She thinks I'm gay, which I'm not. But even if I was, what is the problem? I'd rather not be around her at this point. I don't want her kids, who I'm still close with, to feel some type of way because I don't like their mom, but I can't. I've been told by my friends to suck it up because she's my aunt, but I can't respect a person like her. Should I just suck it up and act like she doesn't bother me, or should I express how I feel? Girl, express yourself. Don't hold back nothing. Let me tell you a little story right quick, okay? Because I have an auntie that I don't like. And this is the story. One Christmas, we all go to my uncle's house for dinner, okay? I don't celebrate Christmas, but where there's free food, bitch, I'm there. So, we all go to my uncle's house for Christmas. I didn't just get this tattoo, but it was my only tattoo at the time. And of course my family is made up of a lot of church people and racy tay. And so we're at dinner. We go to the table to grab food, and we're passing around plates. So I stretch my arm out like this to pass the plate across the table to my cousin, or to take a plate from her. I don't know which one it was. She was either giving me a plate or I was giving her a plate. It doesn't matter. Either way, I stretch my arm out. I stretch my arm out to give the plate, and my aunt like grabbed my wrist like this, but from the opposite side of the table, and she started asking me why I marked up my skin and why I did that and it's horrible and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna get into any biblical things right now. Tattoos are bad, okay, we know this. But I had never met this lady in my life. I did not know her. I didn't even know she was my damn auntie. I didn't know who she was. But I found out after that she's my aunt. But because she lives in Jamaica or whatever, like, she's not around. And I've never hung around her before. So to me, she was a stranger. And so I'm trying to get something to eat, and a stranger is now pressing me about my tattoo. Where do they do that at? Who are you, ma'am? And why are you speaking to me? So I was like to her, can you mind your business, please? Because I'm just trying to eat my food right now. And she starts going in. And so I end up cussing her out. I'm ready to knock her fucking jaw off her fucking face, okay? Like, I was legit pissed. My mom and everybody trying to calm me down. And I'm just like, no, you're not gonna do this. Like, I couldn't stand her, and I let it be known. I told her she better not talk to me ever. Like, don't talk to me ever again. Don't do it. Like, I'm not interested in having your convo. I'm not the type of person to hold my tongue. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big you are. I don't care how small you are. If you have something to say to me and I don't fucking like it, I'm gonna tell you what the fuck it is. If you don't like your aunt, just because she's your aunt doesn't mean that you're not supposed to say how you feel. Don't hold those things in. You can express yourself as much as you want, because it's when you don't say something, that's when people will try to take advantage of you, and that's when people will continue to try to like irritate you. They will pick at you until you snap on them, and that's what your aunt must want you to do. So just tell her one time, make it very clear to her that you don't fuck with her like that, and she better step off before you make it a bigger issue than it needs to be. Definitely don't hold that back. Express yourself 100%. It doesn't matter how everybody else is going to feel about you. It matters how you feel. And just because somebody is related to you by blood doesn't mean that they have your best interest at heart, doesn't mean that they actually genuinely care about you. It doesn't matter. So don't take that whole blood is thicker than water bullshit seriously, because that's irrelevant. Like, no. It ain't no family first nothing. I have 4 sisters and I'm only close with one of them. Like, it means nothing to be family. It really doesn't. Like, you're gonna look out for your family regardless at the end of the day, but I'm closer with my cousin than I am with my sister. So I'm closer with my aunt than I am with my sisters. Like, there's just certain people that you build a bond with in your family, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your immediate family. So just, you're close with her children, but you're not close with her, and that is completely fine. So don't feel like you're not allowed to express yourself. If I have a problem with anybody, I'm gonna tell them. Family, friend, foe, don't matter. I'm gonna let you know, and it is what it is. If you don't like how I feel about you, then that's too bad. Like, you shouldn't treat me a certain way if you don't want to get treated that way too. And she's a shiesty bitch trying to say that she's pregnant. What? Why would she ever do that? First off, let me say I think you're amazing and I love you. Love you too. But I'm 20 years old. I've been through some rough times in my life, especially with men. Well, boys. Right now, I live with my boyfriend. We haven't been together for a long time, but we are in love. But sometimes we fight and say things we don't mean. He likes to throw things in my face when he's mad, which is really, really, really hurtful. And sometimes I feel like I can't talk to him about what's going on. Also, he doesn't really have a strong family background, so he doesn't like to come around my family, but I'm family oriented. How are we supposed to get past these things? I really want to spend the rest of my life with him. Please help me figure it out. What can I do to fix these problems? Thank you. Okay. She wants to be anonymous. Ugh. 20 is very young to, start living with somebody. As far as the whole family situation goes, I think that takes time. When you aren't coming from a strong family, people that don't have big families or people that aren't close with their family, they don't understand family bond, and they don't understand why you would be close to your family or why you're family oriented, because they didn't get to experience that. So that's not really his fault. It's something that he can't help, but the only way to make him comfortable around your family is to encourage your family, to make him feel like he's a part of the family, make him feel really welcome, because some people are just socially awkward. Like, I'm definitely one of those people that are extremely socially awkward, and I don't like social situations. And that's why when I'm shopping and y'all come up to me in the mall or whatever, I act a little funny, because I'm like, okay, I'm so awkward, I can't do this. Like, when it comes to the family thing, you're just gonna have to make your family make him feel like he's a part of the family, so he can get used to that. It's very dangerous, and I don't mean like dangerous like it can do physical harm to you, though. Yeah. I mean, it's very dangerous to live with your significant other early on in your relationship when you guys haven't really gotten to know each other, because it's then when you guys would be arguing a lot. You can really start resenting somebody if you live with them especially if you're total opposites, like if you're really messy and he's really clean, or if you're really clean and he's really messy. It's little things like that that will build up aggression, and it will fuel your arguments. And so in a relationship, you can't be throwing things in each other's face. If he's bringing up past things or saying hurtful things to try to hurt you, that is not necessarily somebody you would want to be with. But you may feel stuck in a sense because you live with him, and it's like, okay, I can't break up with him because I live here, this is my house, where am I gonna go? And you're gonna have to make it by yourself, and you're gonna have to pay rent fully unless you find a roommate, and it's just a lot to deal with. And that's why I don't encourage moving in so fast with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend, because you don't really know someone until you live with them. We got lucky in that sense because we were together for, I don't even know, like we were together a short time before we moved out and got a place together. When you're in a relationship, you cannot be throwing things in each other's face. That's really unhealthy. You shouldn't try to hurt people. Like when you love somebody, if somebody's telling you that they love you, when you do get into an argument, your argument should only be stating facts. You shouldn't be digging in the bottom of your damn hat to pull out the meanest thing you could possibly say to hurt somebody. And I get a lot of people do that. Parents do that. Like your boyfriend can do that. Your friends will do that. It's petty, but it's not a good look. You may want to start saving some money so that you can get your own place. Not necessarily break up, but like sometimes it becomes stressful, especially at 20, to live with your boyfriend or girlfriend because you're seeing them all the time. It's like, okay, I'm sick of you. Like when you're that young, it's hard to make it work. Also, if you can't talk to your significant other about what's going on in your life, or if you don't feel comfortable talking to that person, that might not be the person you're supposed to be with, because your boyfriend or girlfriend should be your best friend. You should be able to go to them about anything and everything. And so if you feel like you're not able to do that with him, then you guys are either not ready to be in a relationship, or you guys don't know each other well enough for you to feel comfortable to say something to him. Or like some people are just not conversationalists, and so if you try to tell them like, okay, I'm going through this right now, they might just be able to be like, oh, and you'll just be like, okay, this is not really a conversation. When you vent to somebody, you want them to give you feedback and you want them to say something back to you. You don't want them to just like acknowledge the fact that you're speaking. And that can be really frustrating. So I totally get what you're going through, but he might just not be the right guy for you, or he's not mature enough to handle being in a relationship and living with his girlfriend. Hey Bo, I'm a French fan. I bumped into your channel and I fucking love it. You're amazing. Salut, comment ça va? So I'm warning you, my English is not perfect. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Here's my problem. I'm 20, almost 21 years old, and I have never had a boyfriend. I don't know how it feels to be in a relationship. I start thinking that I'm nobody's type, that I'm not pretty enough for any kind of boy. Plus, I start wondering about my sexuality too. Apparently, guys aren't attracted to me, and I understand that. But on the other hand, it's really starting to bother me to be single. I'm really desperate. I think that guys don't seem to like black girls. Also, I have really short hair, boyish haircut, something like that. And it's probably a problem. Do you have any advice for me? Love you lots. Sorry again for the bad English. No, your English wasn't too bad. It was pretty much fine. I understood everything. Okay, let's see. I hate the stigma that black girls aren't pretty, black girls aren't cute. I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, black girls are everything, and then some. I don't know if you're in France or where you are. I love your name, by the way. It's really nice. I don't know where you are. I don't know what the guys are like in your area, or what, you know, what does the typical black French girl look like. I don't know that geography, and I don't know what's cool over there. But what I will say is that don't ever think you're not pretty enough. Don't ever think you're not smart enough. Don't ever think you're not perfect in your own way. I really believe that if you tell yourself that you are those things, that you will start to feel that way. You have to work on yourself before even being in a relationship with somebody, because you're saying to me here that you're not that you don't feel like you're attractive to men or to boys, and you don't know that because you're not a man, so you can't make that decision for them. If you're not confident in your appearance and you don't take pride in yourself, it shows on the outside. You may be thinking it all the time, and it will show on your face that you are having zero confidence and zero self-esteem. And so men can sense that, and they can see that, and so they won't approach you because you don't have confidence. If you walk into a room with your head held high and like you're the shit and like nobody can talk to you, people will look at you, and people will be attracted to you because of your confidence. You have to like bring that out of you in order to start getting people to start recognizing your beauty. And once you feel beautiful on the inside, you'll start to reflect it on the outside. As far as being desperate, don't say that you're desperate because you're only 20. You're gonna be able to explore with as many guys. Well, God, I don't want to say that because that just sounds slutty. But like, you're gonna meet a whole bunch of people within the next 10 years that are gonna help change you and to mold you into the person that you are gonna be for the rest of your life. And so I don't think that you should be calling yourself desperate because you're only 20. Like, there's nothing desperate about a 20-year-old. You're young. You know, you can go out and have as much fun as you want, and I think that you should really start working on yourself and how you feel about yourself internally and externally before you start even trying to find somebody to be with. Guys will always be there. There's so many men in this world. They will always be around. They're not going extinct anytime soon, so you don't need to worry yourself too much about that. Focus on yourself first. Put yourself first, because there's no way. RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in y'all? Okay, so you need to love yourself first before you try to go and love somebody else. And obviously, if you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for love. When it comes to your boyish haircuts, I can't speak for men. I can speak for, if I was a man, I would not like for my girl to be on her Amber Rose shit. Though Amber Rose is like one of the prettiest bald people ever. Like, she's gorgeous. There's so many beautiful bald girls, but every man is not necessarily attracted to men like hair. They do. It takes a certain kind of man and a strong man to not care about those things. And we live in a world, and I know Europe is really superficial. So well, I don't know if you're in Europe, but you must be in Europe, so you're probably in France. Europe is a very superficial part of the world, and so if you have a boyish haircut, you don't fit in with society, and it sucks that you have to forfeit. It sucks that we have to change our looks and stuff to fit in. Like, we shouldn't have to do that. We should just come as we are, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I personally don't feel like you should do that. I don't feel like you should have to do that. But if you want to experiment with it, I would say go ahead, do it. Get a wig, pop it on, and see if that changes anything. And if it does, if you were to do that, say there's somebody that you know that you're interested in, and they're not giving you any time of day, all of a sudden you come and you have some kind of weave, okay, or a wig, and they start liking you, that's not the kind of person that you want to talk to, because you're the same person, hair or no hair. So your looks should not matter. Your appearance should not matter. But because of the world we live in, because of society and media and expectations, we're held to a certain standard and we have to look a certain way, or some of us feel like we have to look a certain way so that we can attract certain people. But we have to be very mindful and careful of that, because you may attract the wrong people by changing your appearance and altering it. If you are happy with your short hair, if you're happy with a boyish haircut or happy being bald, then be happy being bald. It should not affect your love life if that's what you choose to do. I know a girl that's on my Instagram timeline that's bald, and she has a boyfriend, and she doesn't do too much makeup. She's very, very plain and simple, and there are guys out there that are attracted to women like that. And so I think that you should just be true to yourself and don't conform or switch what you would normally do just to, you know, not feel desperate or just to get a boyfriend or something like that. Of course, you can try things out. It doesn't hurt to try. Like it's just like me wearing this wig. I don't like this type of weave, but I'll slap it on for a video. It's just something fun and new to try. Like, it doesn't make me any different than if I have straight hair, than if I have my hair in a bun. It doesn't make me any different. It's just something fun to do. So I don't think you should take it too seriously. If you do buy a wig, slap it on, go out and have a good time and like get a couple of numbers, and then once you get the numbers and you go on a couple of dates and the man falls in love with you, just whip it off and just be like, bitch, I'm bald. And see what happens. I mean, they're already in love with you, so what, they won't care. And it's at that point that they don't care what you look like, because they fell in love with you and not your appearance. When somebody falls in love with you, truly falls in love with you, they're falling in love with you from the inside out, and that is the most beautiful thing about it. So if somebody does decide that you are the person that they're in love with, it's not gonna matter what you look like. But I think that you should work on yourself first and build up your confidence before you try to even go out there and look for anybody. Anyway, I do love you all. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to participate in Botox, make sure you send me an email to botox@gmail.com. It'll be on the screen and in the description box as always. So don't ask me where you can send your Botox email to. I get that question all the time on my Instagram, on my thing. I'm like, do you watch Botox? If you watch Botox, start to finish, even if you just watched at the start, you will know what email to send your fucking question to. So don't ask me where the hell you're supposed to send your question to, because I made it very clear by placing the email on the screen. I think this video, I'll leave it on the entire time because I'm sick of people asking me. Like, I'm really sick. Anyway, you guys, I do love you all, and I will definitely see you in the next one.